So overnight, we've been conducting search and rescue operations, or really since our last update, and these operations have continued with our regular partners from the region, as well as some of the assets that have arrived on scene. During our salvage surveys in preparation to lift the aircraft, additional remains were located and removed from the river and taken to the medical examiner's office. So far, 55 victims have been positively identified from this aircraft, or from this accident. So far, the only injury on this event that we have to report is that one of the Metropolitan Police Department divers was transported to an area hospital to be checked out after a hypothermia situation. We're happy to report that he's doing fine.
All of our partners, just really to ensure strict adherence to our central priority that the dignified recovery of missing flight passengers and personnel take precedence, right? And should any remains be found during our process, an automatic work stoppage happens, and we will definitely begin the proper coordination with the appropriate authorities. So reuniting those lost in the tragic incident is really what keeps us all going. We've got teams that have been working this effort since the beginning, and we're committed to making this happen. As we go through that, when we begin the lift process tomorrow, our goal is to really lift as much as we can, given the fact that we are also accounting for the human remains component. And then our goal is to then transfer those pieces of equipment over to a flatbed trailer that will now take it over to a designated hangar so that the investigation can begin.
But right now that waterway is closed only for those involved with this operation. And Coast Guard's primary missions right now for this incident remain to ensure the safety of the public and first responders. And we will do that by ensuring no one is in this the safety zone.
We're finding that we have a much better view of kind of what's in the wreckage than what we've seen with some of the other dive operations, really because we're really kind of taking a dive salvage approach. So when our divers go down there, they've got a much wider view on their helmet, and they also carry a HD camera that's supported by a support boat. So you've honestly got 4 or 5 sets of eyes looking inside of a wreckage at the same time. During our surveys, for instance, yesterday, they were able to identify 11 separate human remains as part of this effort, as part of their preparatory operation for dive. But we do have a process where we will watching the lift as it happens, and then if there are remains in there that will not move while we're recovering the wreckage, we will bring that wreckage to the surface of the barge. Our process to immediately tent the barge to make sure that we have full discretion, and then we'll bring in the proper personnel to deal with that at that time.
As we recover the fuselage, we expect that we'll find more, but we may also need to do additional searches in other areas.